Welcome back to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. This is season 1, episode 1, but this is a part 2.
Right, in part 2 too, should women be more submissive to their men/husbands? But before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, how have you with the whole COVID and not working or going to work?
Pardon me right now, because I'm like mellow. I had a good case of indica.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
But as far as like COVID-19, like I'm still working. You know, I'm
Okay.
still working. But this is nothing new for me. Like, you know, I have like gym that I built from scratch since 2015.
Wow, good for you.
We get bad snowstorms out here in New York.
So that's when you started making your home gym because of the
Yeah, because
snowstorm?
I'm not about to be snowed in, and then I can't work out,
Good.
can't do shit. You know what I mean? And then like maybe 4 years ago, I took the journey to start writing books.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As you know, I published 5 in like under a year.
Yes.
And I did 6 in a year and a half. So, you know, I had to make a lot of sacrifices. You know what I mean? I stopped, even though I love to dance, I stopped going to the clubs.
You were disciplined.
Certain sacrifices. You mean friendships. You know what I mean? Still cool. No bridges burned.
Right. You just had to put what was important, like in order of importance, and just getting this done is just. I always said, well, not I always said, but since all this happened, I realized that people need to really do something else, not just sit there. Especially if you can't, if you were one of the ones that got laid off, you have to do something else to get your hustle going. And I know that if that I know would be coming out with something different, something new, definitely you, because you put your mind to something and you're like a dog with a bone. But for me to come out with a podcast with you as co-host blows my mind.
Yeah, you've been kind of telling me about this for like a few years now. A few years ago.
Yes, because I thought, you speak so well. You carry yourself well. And, you're the author. I'm just, look at me, but I'm, your business partner, confidant. We talk business and I try to, help out or whatever. But you, to bring out a whole, to mix it in.
More. You're doing more. You're a philanthropist. You know what I mean? Like, you're a motivational speaker.
Yeah, in private to my friends. You can do it.
But what's been going on with you?
Actually, I've been, ever since we talked about doing the podcast, I've been really more involved with that, thinking up more of ideas and what to do with that. That's pretty much what's been consuming me. That and running the business page and doing that for the books and just that. But this is exciting. This is what's new for me right now. So I'm happy with this.
I mean, this is pretty much what we do all the time. This is like conversation. You know what I mean?
Right, but putting it out.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? What's the difference with this and when we were doing lives? When we were going to Barnes and Nobles and having these conferences and these meetings, right?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's just right now, with all this downtime, that's the way I look at it. This downtime, we have, like, we could catch up now with things because things are slowed down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So this is part 2, and we have to jump in there.
And it's late. You know what I mean? Like, this is that, after dark conversations. I mean, some reason freaks come out at night.
Yeah, so we gotta put the kids away. Put those kids away, because they don't need to see the freaky side come out.
Rated R.
Yes.
I mean, you know, I love dialogue, right? I love dialogue. You know what I mean? So we were kind of just giving our own, just to recap.
I was about to say, you want to recap? We started off with what does submission mean to us. So I gave my response to what submission means to me. You gave your response. We went over that.
Yeah, and if people want to indulge, they could go back and watch the show prior.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Part 1. Mm-hmm.
Part 1 to get more insight on that. I think this part of it, we should run through the bullet points. You know what I mean? Because we wrote a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of things that we wrote, and we both agree and disagree on. But it's important that we get it. You know what I mean? That we hit
all of it. We put it out there,
because like we were going in for like, and then we didn't even get to like a quarter of the bullet note.
The bullets?
Yeah, the bullet points. So, you know what I mean? Let's get into it.
All right. Then you said there are switches. Once we can play the dominant and submissive role. Touch upon that because I think we have a topic later on in the season that we were going to talk about that. I think that's why we left that out. Yeah. We did happy wife, happy life versus happy house, happy spouse. We went over that. Different levels of submission and submissives. We also talked about that afterwards. And we said, you know, the different levels of submission and submissives could be also when a woman rather be with a fast money making type of guy, like a rapper or a drug dealer. Not that those two are interchangeable at all. I'm just saying.
Hold on. Drug dealer. Let's be correct here.
Pharmaceutical rep?
No. Street drug dealer. Because your pharmacist at a Walgreens, at a CVS, at a Target, at a Walmart is a drug dealer. But he's a corporate drug dealer.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's a guy that clocks in, clocks out, and pays his taxes.
Yes. Well, that's the key word.
Drug dealer is an entrepreneur. Street drug dealer doesn't pay taxes. Therefore, the government, you understand? So it's interchanged as something, you know what I mean, a negative connotation. But
I mean, it can be negative connotation because of the types of drugs that they're selling.
Your doctor's a drug dealer.
100%. I'm not saying no, but I'm just saying, you know, you're saying that they're entrepreneurs. Yes, because they're trying to make their own money, quote unquote. But the way they're going about it doesn't necessarily mean that it's correct either. Either one. Even the doctor that does it. Even the doctor that does it. That just because he has an MD at the end of his name doesn't mean that he's doing it the right way.
Hold up. Just because a street drug dealer provides pharmaceuticals doesn't necessarily mean they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They could be doing it to, you know, build a business, trying to get out of the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are.
Well, that's the thing. They have to get out of the game.
There are some that want to maintain that
image,
you know, persona, and you know what I mean, tough guys that want to live that life, and then when they get caught up, they, you know.
Yes, but what we're talking about is submissives.
No, I understand. You see me getting off topic.
Yes. We are getting off topic. So that's that one. And then we went into, is withholding information lying? Is a white lie acceptable if it's to protect someone, or is it not acceptable at all? Okay. And we got, go ahead.
So going back to the rappers and the drug dealers that you were saying, some women will be submissive to those type of guys because of the money. The money.
I was going to say that.
What they see is stability, in my opinion.
They see the money as stability because clearly not the man as stability. Just the fact that they can get money out of it. Okay.
Exactly. Like you can have a woman who is classy looking, and the typical rapper attire. Like it's a whole culture.
It's also like it's the same type of woman that goes after the rappers that goes after the sports athletes.
Here's the difference. There's rappers and then there's MCs. Those rappers, they have the chains, they have this, they have that. Oh, my nice car and stuff like that. That's what the women see. Then you have MCs. MCs like KRS-One, J. Cole, Kendrick. Those type of people. They're more, they're not so
aware.
They're more lyrical. They're not so flashy. They're MCs. They're writers as well. But those rappers that are the flash and stuff like that, that's what they see. Like you don't see their face, you see.
That's what they're attracted to.
You see, exactly. That equates to money.
It's almost like dollar signs in the eyes, yeah.
It is
stability. But why is that? They would rather get with money, get with men who make fast money, like drug dealers, rappers, etc., versus the blue collar workers, sanitation workers, warehouse, UPS drivers. Sometimes those people get paid good money, but why do you think that is? It's just because they get more, they fast money, it's incoming quicker.
Yeah, I mean, let's be frank, right? Let's be real. That type of industry is dominated by black. You know what I mean? It's Hispanic, very few, but predominantly black. So you see a kid coming from a low income environment who's pursuing that type of career, right? They feel, and this is solely my opinion, they feel that's the quickest way to get to generational wealth. Let me be a ball player. Let me be a musical artist, rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be rich, fast. You know what I mean? You don't think that goes to those women's heads as well? It comes down to stability. I feel like women don't really care about money at the end of the day, but it comes down to stability. We live in a capitalistic world. So
that's true. I mean, I think most of the women I know, say that they don't really care about the money, but I also think it's, situational, learned behavior, what they see at home, all that plays into it.
Yeah, but when you see all these things in the media, right, are they really showing real estate agents blacks? Are they? No, what's in the media the most? Rappers, ball players, right?
Right. It's almost like they're pushing them to that. Yeah.
Subconscious. So now you see these rappers, you see these ball players, they're successful. So when you see them out or whatever it is, you see somebody upcoming, he's more attractive than, let's just throw it out there, a book author who's black, who's Latino. You know what I mean? That's more attractive because it's what they're seeing. It's the norm. You know what I mean? But
that makes sense.
I have a habit of jumping off topic. So,
yes.
We had for the part 2. You know what I mean? Like, what are the bullet points?
Are foreign women more submissive than American women, and why?
100%. 100%. And this is not even my opinion. This is factual. You look at Middle Eastern countries.
I mean, also the Latin American countries.
I was about to say that. When my parents come from Haiti, DR, like, it's the thing in America, we have these amendments, right? We have these amendments. And it's ironic because right now it feels like martial law. I mean, if people don't know what martial law is,
that's a different topic too.
But as far as the amendments, you know what I mean? You have equal rights, you have freedom of speech, you have, you know what I mean? to right to bear arms. Like you have all these amendments and rights. There's different laws in different countries. I mean, in Saudi Arabia, women, most women can't do what the men do. It's a law. Like they can't even show a lot of skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In some
So
countries,
there-
women can be stoned to death by their husbands or their fathers or their brothers.
yeah, there's women right here right now who pump their chest. Feminism. I don't have an issue with feminists. Independence and stuff like that. People could Google me, EL Discipline, find all my works. I have women on the covers of majority of my books.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm
I
in the
was
background.
one.
So I would kind of be a hypocrite if I had an issue. But these women would not last if they were in a different country.
Oh yeah, I say that all the time. I'm lucky to have been born in the time that I was born and in the country that I was born.
Yeah,
because I know for a fact they would have killed me a long time ago.
So you look at these different countries, they're raised in a domestic environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it goes through generation.
I think that's why I am the way I am. Because now my mom, she's Argentinian. She was very big time feminist. Huge, the woman was. But the way I grew up, I saw her ironing my dad's, clothes down to his drawers, his boxers. He got fed first. And even like with my own household, when I was there, I used to, that's how I was taught. You serve the first person who gets the plate is who? The father, the head of the household. He gets the first plate, then the kids, and so on and so forth. My daughter was like, this is such a patriarchal society. Why do the men have to get served first? I'm like, because that's just how it is. Like, that's just how it is. I don't know. I always tell her, when you have your own house, serve whoever you want first. But
that's how it was in the 50s.
That's just how it is.
I wasn't born in the 50s, obviously. I was in my early 30s. But that's how it was back then. That's how it is with the carnivorous felines in the jungle.
It's also funny because you've seen like those memes, especially the Hispanic memes, when they say like they have a woman looking at, it's like a bunch of women giving a dirty look, and they're saying when your mom and aunts see you having to get your own dish, serving your own plate at the barbecue. You've seen those memes? Like, why is he serving his own plate? Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's still right. That's still how it is, right?
That's still the thing.
Like, growing up with I would want to make him that plate. You know what I mean? It's almost like showing, wow, that sounds really sexist. Like, I wanted to make the plate. But it kind of is. I'm trying to show you, look, I know how to make a plate. It's almost like you're putting yourself on display for the woman.
Well, it's a lot harder in America. You have both parties who work. You know what I mean? If they both work long hours, it's difficult to be able to cater to your man, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. It's harder.
It is, especially if you guys have a family also. Like, that usually takes a back seat. The husband or the fathers usually take a back seat and as it should, I think, because the woman's first priority after having children should be the children. But I think that's why a lot of marriages suffer. Because the man who was used to getting all the attention now has to take a back seat to the baby.
Even though I feel like foreign women are more submissive than American women. Like,
is this also personal? Like, you personally have been with both kinds and have noticed it on your own? Really?
Yes,
interesting.
Yes. Foreign women who are American citizens. You know what I mean? Like, they still, their parents, you know what I mean, came over, still, teaching the same culture in the household.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though I feel this, and I feel it's a fact, I still feel submission has no color. You know what I mean? It's not like white girls are more submissive
only
for Latinas or more, or Indians or whatever. It really is something I feel like it's embedded in women. It does take the man though, the character of the man, to kind
to
of
bring
bring
it
that
out.
out. But
I
it's
agree.
like I feel like it's about maintaining that, because like we spoke in the
Mm-hmm.
last episode. It's still the same episode, just part one.
Mm-hmm. No, and I agree with you. And I said that a lot of the women, when they left comments in my DMs or whatever, they all pretty much said the same thing. Like, no problem. I have no problem being submissive, as long as the man that I'm submitting to is worth it or brings it out in me.
Yeah,
100%.
she still chooses. So she
Mm-hmm.
chooses, and it's like she has to, I feel like, maintain that submission because she chosen. You know what I mean?
Now, can they ever change their mind? Like, is that as far as a submissive to a
In the
dominant?
lifestyle,
Can that happen?
they should, but at the end of the day, those two or three, we don't want to get into like monogamy and polygamy, but if it's a
Not yet.
monogamous, if it's a
Relationship.
monogamous BDSM relationship, right? Whatever those two agree upon, what the rules are going to be for those two. Like, there's no real rules like out there. Like, there's no rules.
Right. Like, this is what you have to follow. It's what the people in it
as
have in
long
common.
as it's consensual for both parties.
And now for you though, has that ever happened to you? One, and is it a big deal or is it not a big deal? Like, is it just like, well, is it like a breakup or not really?
It's a big deal because I don't play for fun. I play for keeps. So, I'm investing in you. Like, I'm opening you up to my world. So it's like I see something versus I'm meeting you, we're dating already for like, been on 3 dates and I'm not introducing you to this life already, then it's not gonna go anywhere. So it's like if I'm investing my time in you, I'm seeing something long term. I don't like to lose anything. I don't like to lose a board game. I don't like to lose a debate. You know me. I don't like to lose.
Get ready for that here, though. Losing the debate.
I don't like to lose women. So it's
interesting.
It's you know what I mean. I'm not.
Do women are women like surprised when like you say that to them, or like? So my question to you is: Do women come across to you as like to hitting on you just to have a one night stand? Like, is that what they think because of how you look? Like, are they surprised when you're like, no, we're going to build? We're going to build.
You read my mind.
So it happens when you're business partners for a while.
Look how I look. You know what I mean? What type of stigma am I in?
Yes, I was gonna say.
What type of stigma am I in? What type of stigma do people may place me in?
Yes, it's like, don't judge a book by its cover, but we do that all the time. Just looking, right? I would think that you're either a rapper or an athlete. And also you can have that look where girls automatically are like, well, he's a player, so he's not going to take anything serious. Do you get that, like, often?
Yeah, but it's all about just
right. What you say, how you right.
It's just about proving them wrong. Like, someone could
They must be pleasantly surprised.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I have to say about that. Most women look at me and say, "Oh, he's too good to be true." Well, if that's the mentality you're gonna go with, I feel like that's turned into a negative connotation, which is like an irony. It's too good to be true. You might subconsciously try to sabotage the relationship because you've had so many bad ones that you don't believe this is too good to be true. Finally, you're in a healthy relationship.
So they just do it subconsciously, sabotaging it because they're just expecting it to go bad.
Exactly.
Tito's.
I had somebody like a long time ago. I was dating, and they'll remain nameless. I'm not a name dropper.
Okay.
And she said to me, "This is too good to be true. I don't believe it. Like, She was trying to put me on a 3-month probation. Like after 3 months, or after 2 months, men act up. So
they like almost like they show their true colors.
Yeah, so she was she was already putting it in her head that it was gonna fuck this shit up.
Well, she was putting that energy out there already.
Yeah, so
gotta change that.
It's like, I'm somebody that's not gonna change. Like if I'm giving you affection and whatnot, if I tell you this how it's gonna be, if I tell you that don't beg me for attention and whatnot, I'm not gonna change 6 months later and now let you beg me for attention and I'm constantly giving it to you.
What does that mean? Beg me for attention. What does that entail?
Not affection.
Just attention.
My personal experience is text me every 2 minutes.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like that?
Yeah.
But I thought you liked that. In part 1, you said you like when they're obsessed with you.
That's crazy. That's not a good obsessed.
Got you. All right, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
But we digress again. Ride or die. What does that mean to you?
Highest level of loyalty a person could have for somebody else. That's what I feel.
And now, is that for male and female? Can you have a ride or die friend, homeboy? Okay, so that's cool.
What do you think?
Ride or die? I'm gonna agree with you on that. I think it's somebody who would do, anything and everything for the person that they care about.
I mean, let me tell you something. You could be engaging with someone sexually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and they could be the biggest hater, you know what I mean, you've ever encountered. A silent hater, and you're not paying attention to the signs.
Yeah, those signs have got to be really subtle. You can't picture that. I mean, if you're engaged with someone on all aspects and all those levels,
let me give
and you can't tell that they're hating on you, your alarms are off. Not you per se. I'm just saying in general.
Let me give you an example. A woman is with a man, and he says, he has aspirations, right? He wants to be a fucking millionaire, and he's like, I have this great idea. I'm gonna blow up balloons. Hypothetical scenario, and sell them. And she might say, that's a stupid idea. Why do you want to do that? She might be dismissive about it. She'll be like, oh, you're not gonna sell balloons? Don't do that. Work a regular job. That's somebody that's
she's hating. Not supportive, yeah.
That's somebody that's hating. That's somebody you gotta be careful for. Because if that's your girl, your man, it could go both ways. But this is more about women being more submissive, and that's part of being submissive, I feel. But in this
being supportive.
In this scenario, she's not being submissive
because she's not being supportive.
Yeah, believing in a man is worth more than money.
Yeah, I think that 100%. But believing in anybody, having that support from somebody that you care about, that means a lot. Yeah. Whether it be, a significant other or your family, your kids, whatever, having them support you, that's important.
I dated this girl. She was a sophomore in college. I had finished college. I was 22. She was like 20, and she was dorming. So I would go there. Sometimes I would sleep over, and I remember she was one of the first people I said, I'm gonna get into modeling. It's like 2000. It was like 2010 or 2011. And she was like, why do you want to do that? Like, that industry's so competitive. You know what I mean? Like,
what was she going to school for?
She'd be a doctor.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty competitive. Competitive.
she was insinuating that I wasn't gonna make it.
Get out of town. And
You
this
know what
was
I
a
mean?
girl that you were dating?
Yeah. 2014, 2013, I started taking pictures. I started paying for gigs on my own, traveling. I was getting gigs. Then I was going to tattoo conventions. I dominated the industry in a short period of time. Within 1 year, I was featured in like countless magazines, whether it was digital, print, you know,
Good for you.
I'm not gonna name them, but people go on the page discipline underscore
Mm-hmm.
BC7, EL discipline, Instagram, Twitter, Mr. Discipline 07 underscore
Everything comes up,
07,
right?
like everything comes up, but you'll see what I'm speaking of. But when she said that to me, I felt like I had to prove it to myself because words are energy.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Words are powerful. So if you have somebody that's closest to you telling you stuff like that, that can bring you down, make you want to quit.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? So it takes a strong person that, oh, I
yeah.
love
Because
this.
you start to believe it almost, right?
Yeah,
Well, not you, but if it's somebody that's not strong mentally, they're gonna be like, "Well, if they're saying I can't do it, then I guess I can't do it."
this is somebody that you perhaps love, care for,
Trust.
like trust,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Confide in for them to be saying stuff like that. Like you could believe them.
Now, what if it's like tough love? Because you seem, I mean, knowing you,
If let me let me
being
tell you
your
something.
business partner,
Let me
you're
tell you
you're a
something.
tough love type of guy.
Yeah, but it's business partner. If that's your significant other, if that's your significant other, whether you think that idea is shit, you should support it.
But now, what about being honest? Though? What if what if your significant other has an idea and you're like, that is a really bad idea. Like, how do you tell them now? Like, how do you say it without crushing them? You know what I
Now
mean?
you have to give an example.
Let's say your significant other is like, oh, guess what? I downloaded some stock apps and I'm she has a lot of money coming in and she wants to put stock all this money in like a stock. I can't even say that though because that's not she's not really working to get anything. And that's a really bad example. I don't know. I'm just saying like something that's not going to work that you would be like maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe we should think about it. I guess it's also the way that the person says it. If somebody says that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard, that's in a negative way. So
It
I
is.
guess, yeah.
Anything you want to engage in, just you could research. You know what I mean? I don't think investing in stock is a bad idea.
No.
Dividends.
I was about to say you taught me how to research things left and right now.
Yeah, so what I
Okay.
mean? Just going back to what I was saying with that, if she, even if you're talking about being honest, okay, she could say, "I think that that's gonna be a bad idea. Like, I don't know if you're gonna make money from that, but I'm
In the
gonna
long
help you.
right.
But I'm gonna
That's
help you
true.
do it." That's a different way to put it. That's a different not being completely dismissive. Like
Negative. Yeah.
fucking bad idea. Don't fucking do that shit. Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna make no money. Like think
Yeah. No.
go do this. Yes, as far as what she's saying in the end, go do like engage in a regular job. I agree with that. Like and get a regular job, but that's not gonna be your job forever. You know what I mean? Use that job to pay bills, and then the second portion, you know, put it to the side to your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not this episode though. How should a man handle a situation if his mother doesn't like his girlfriend?
Well, what do you think about that?
Well,
And then I'll tell you what I think.
I have, two children. I have a son and a daughter. My son is 22. I'm kind of biased with that. I mean, if his mother doesn't like his girlfriend, don't put them together. But I think, don't disrespect the mom. At the end of the day, you know, that's how he's going to treat his girlfriends, or his wife is how he treats his mother. So just don't have them around each other, and keep them both in check. I guess, I don't know. He's the one that's going to lay down the law. He's the one that's going to say, "Mom, it's either I like her, so you're going to have to deal with it, or we'll see each other, but not as often, because she's going to always be with me. So you got to take a pick." If my son told me that, I'd be like, okay, and I would wait and let the girl just hang herself. I'm not the type to get involved in other people's lives.
Here's the thing. As a man, your mother is the first woman in your life before you start dating. Your mother is gonna be always the number one woman in your life. If you get with a woman and she has a problem with that, leave her fast. Leave her fast. That's already a red flag. You know what I mean? Your mother's
What
gonna be the
if
number one woman in your life. However, that's your queen. That's your lady. If your mother has an issue, you as a man gotta put your foot down, because you're the one that's gonna have to deal with her, not the mother. Your parents aren't in your relationship.
mm. Now, would you say the same thing if the girlfriend and the sisters or sister don't get along?
Oh, I'm
Because
very
you're
close
close
with
with
my
your.
sister. Very
I was
close
gonna
with my
say,
sister.
has it ever happened where you dated someone and she didn't like them?
No, that's
Never.
never happened.
What if it would happen? What if she says, "I don't like her. I don't like that bitch. There's something funny about her."
I may, I may question it, because my sister wouldn't say something like that. She probably
Mm.
reading something I'm not seeing. So I may think about it. But it's not gonna make me just walk away
Break up with her,
completely.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Ooh,
know what I
those
mean?
are
A
good ones.
man works at the beat of his own drum. I mean, you're not gonna let family or friends dictate your relationship. That goes with the same thing of being submissive. Like, you know what I mean? I have a girl in Florida that I speak to, and she said she needs a man's dominance as much as he needs her submission. Like, having a man's dominance for her makes her feel guarded, protected. Um, it pleases her. It fills a void. She was speaking to one of her friends, and the lady the friend was like, "Oh, how could you be this way? I could never be this way. Solely in the bedroom, perhaps to an extent, but I could never be this way 24/7. How do you do it?" To each their
I
own. To each their own. You know what I mean?
that
Like,
that
never let.
that sounds. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that the friend's answer, it sounds what like pretty much the rest of the women that I've heard from kind of relate to. They say the same thing. Like, I could be in the bedroom, but what do you mean? I know from your book you say you like to tell them what color to paint their nails and stuff, right? And how to do their hair and stuff. That's a
Yeah.
24/7 type. No,
Type down. Yes.
right.
Yes.
So I
But
know
that's
girls that'll
that's
be
in the
like,
first book,
unless he's paying for
the
my
seduction of
nails.
discipline.
Yes.
Well, for the women that say that, right? Because I've had women that, what I mean, I was they were like subs in training, and you know what I mean, like I tell them, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to make a choice. We could be engaging for 6 months, and you're still not transitioning. You're gonna have to make a choice, because I'm not waiting for a year. I'm not waiting for 2 years for you to, finally say you want to give me a submission and be a sub 24/7. So we might as well go our separate ways if it's not gonna come down to that. So I've, you
Sounds
know,
like a lot of pressure.
it is a lot of pressure, but as you're going through this training process, right? Guiding her. Training sounds negative. Like, people will take that in a negative kind of thing. It
Right.
sounds like
Like, what is she, a
control.
dog?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like control and stuff like that. Um, as a sub, you're not being controlled. Like, let's be honest, you're an active participant in this lifestyle.
Okay.
Um, but going back to that, as a woman, right? That thing within you for you to be like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm not gonna be able to do this. If you want me to change my nails, do my hair a type of way, give me the money
Hey,
for it.
give me the
You're
money.
gonna pay
Right.
for it. And my answer to that is, I'm not your pimp. I'm not a pimp, and you're not my hoe. You're my queen. You're my lady. I'm building you to be a boss. I'm building you to be independent. So if you're telling me, oh, pay for that stuff, that's like that's the pimp game.
Mm. But do you explain it like that to your subs, like, or is it some like you say it and they just have to do it? Because I feel like
Think
right
about it.
now,
Think about it. Think about it. If I'm paying for your titties to get done, some men do that. I'm giving you
yeah,
a hypothetical
right.
scenario. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
but just be hypothetical. Paying for your titties, paying for your ass to get done, paying for your nails, your hair, and all that. I'm building you for what? For me or other people? Because I'd rather see the real. Like I want to see the stretch marks. I care. I don't care if you got a little belly. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like I'd rather see the real. But if you're building her, like you're really building her for what? To show? Because at the end of the day, when y'all in the bedroom, it's just y'all. Like
No, that
they
makes
ain't no
sense.
show. You know what I mean? They ain't no show. So do you really like that you're building it? Or you trying to build it for other people? Because that's like a pimp that's investing in his product. And the product is
Right.
the hoe.
Because he's selling it. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when they say that to me, that's the answer I give, and I break it down because at
But
the
that's
end,
what I was gonna say. You explaining it like that, kind of like right now, you explained it, and but before you said it, it's like no, this is what it has to be. And I may agree with you, but at the end of the day, I'm also going to play devil's advocate. So in that instance, you hearing you say that, but then how you explain it, it makes sense. You know what I mean? But as long as you explain that to your subs, I'm saying, like, I've also heard that there can be doms that just say, like, don't give any explanation, like that.
and
I feel
and
like is
and I'm
wrong
not.
because you're
And here's the thing: I'm not saying that they don't live the lifestyle. They do, because sometimes it is my way or the highway. Sometimes it is because I said
but
so,
off
and
the rip or
that's
always
that's
after an
no, 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 no,
explanation.
no, no. You didn't let me finish. That's their lifestyle.
Mm,
There's different type of, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Different alphas,
I guess like in
tops.
regular life too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have alphas, tops. You have dominants. You have masters. Like there's different men, like different things. If that's what that's consensual, you have to abide by that. If you're the sub, you have to abide by that because you're putting your trust in
I
him to
mean,
lead.
does she have to, or can she just remove herself from that? Like if she's like how you said when you have a sub in training, if during that training period, that's when she would like ultimately decide whether or not she wants to stay and be this dominant submissive, right? So at that point, she can be like, you know what, this ain't for me. I'm
Hmm.
not. This isn't it. That would be the time.
Yeah, and it's like you can't give them a time frame because
Right? You
some
don't know.
people adjust later than others. Some people adjust
Mm,
really really quickly. You know, what I mean, you can't say okay, you got a week, you got a month. You know what I mean? But you also have to read the red flags. You
yeah.
know, a lot of women been in toxic relationships. It's becoming a pattern.
Yeah.
So
They don't see those flags anymore.
yeah,
So I'm sure everybody wants to know how if you had. Do you have children? That I know that answer, but the viewers don't
no,
know. Okay, if you did have children, how would you want your daughter to be?
both
You would want her to be an alpha sub.
alpha sub
Is that sounds like
because
pretty much like the
because
way to go?
because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I remember in Stuck Between Two Different Worlds, book 5,
Yes.
the scene with Dominic, and Reina, his daughter.
Uh,
She's about to go on the first date,
on a date. Yeah,
and he's like, I would see myself doing that.
I could
Like
see
he's
you
kind of
doing that
interrogating.
too.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you have to be strong enough to be with a daughter of mine. Like my daughter is gonna have dominant genes.
Okay, wait.
If I have a when I have if I have a daughter, I hope when I have my first child, it's a daughter, it's a
It's a
girl.
girl first? Really? Okay, so if you have a son, obviously you would want him to be dominant like
A
you,
hundred
right? Like a
percent.
what if,
Just like how my father, kind of bred me to be.
right? But sometimes it doesn't come out like that. Like sometimes you know how like some athlete dads they want their sons to be athletes too, and it turns out that he has no athletic ability, but he's a genius, and he had his SAT scores are through the roof. Two different types of way. You know what I mean? But if your son wasn't dominant like that, if he was more shy and how would that make you feel? Like, what would you do? Would you try to make him alpha, dominant?
Yeah, I would be training him along the way. I'll be training him along the way. Like eventually,
Click.
it's gonna get in because if you have like I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed to have great genes. If you have great genes by both parents, eventually, if you have the right training by your side along the way, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. You
Mm.
telling me that a cub is the inevitability versus the reality? Is not gonna be a lion eventually? How much of a lion is he gonna be? Is he gonna be an apex predator? Is he gonna run his own pride one day? You know what I mean? Because some lions get eaten out there
Yeah.
because they're weak.
Hmm. Were you always like this alpha dominant person as a child, or were you more like reserved, more quiet, more to yourself?
Reserved.
Is that an alpha like trait, a dominant trait, being reserved? Hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that
Yeah,
later
I know.
on.
In the other topics, I know.
Yeah, but I
So
feel
guess what though?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The women, um, who are married, like how like if a wife asks me advice, because women DM me all the time, but it's not like it used to be in the past with pussy
Asking more
cakes
for
and
asking for
yeah,
advice now, like how to
they're
get their men
asking
to
more
behave.
advice now. They're asking more
Interesting.
advice now. Whereas I'll encounter through DM or whatever it is, like a wife who's coming to me like, how can I be more of a submissive wife? I mean, well, here's the
Mm.
thing.
So that's good though, right? That women are reaching out to try to find out how they can be more submissive. That means that they want to please their husbands and or boyfriends.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's a lot of things you can do. You know what I mean. When he comes home, you know what I mean. Make him a great cooked meal, massage him. You know what I mean. Cater to him. Maybe he wants to watch ESPN. Don't nag. Don't nag. Like gag on his cock. Like you know what I mean. Like you could if you're not into the sports, right? That's an option. Or you could make him a snack. Third option, you could sit there and get to know the game.
Show interest.
Yeah, he might teach you the game. You
Hmm.
mean most women don't know about sports. Most women don't know about cars and how to change your tires, how to change oil and things like that.
I know where the gas goes.
You know what I mean? So those are some of the things you could do. Show more interest, show more support. I mean, it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's the I feel like going back to the original topic, the should women be more submissive to their men, wives more to their husbands. That's what I mean with it. When we posted this, and we were getting all these different things. Some people were like, "Oh, well, if he's taking care of me financially, physically, I'll be happy to do it. If
To
I'm
be submissive.
happy, if I'm happy, then I'll be happy to be submissive." No, so here's the thing: you
I
choose
think
that
they meant
man.
in general, though.
You choose.
Not just that.
You choose that man, right? You choose that man. There's something about him that made you submit in the beginning. So you choose that man. Now, his character is what's going to make your submission thrive. Okay?
That's true.
It's like if you feel like you're backpedaling, think about why you submitted in the first place.
I agree with that, but that is also, I mean, things change, like you said. Things change, situations change, feelings change. People aren't the same that they were, a year ago, 2 years ago, and etc. So in that case, what if she's done all that and he doesn't appreciate it, or he takes it for granted? Then what?
Well, there's like a girl DM me last week. She was like, "Is it possible that," and I won't name, I won't drop her name. She was like, "Is it possible that a woman could be too submissive to the wrong man?" Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that too.
Absolutely. Like I posted something where I said, like I had a picture meme, and it showed like a regular woman in like a skirt, your girlfriend, and then it showed a woman like she was under restraint, my sub. And I said the difference between girlfriend and a sub, you know what I mean? And I explained it like one's under instruction, the other is compromise and 50-50, whatever it is. But the biggest difference between them is that one is more obliged more than the other. One is more ride or die.
More giving.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
The submissive, obviously.
Yeah, one is more pretty much down for anything.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Versus the girlfriend. The girlfriend is the materialistic, and she's gonna be the one that nags and begs for attention and all this
Not
other stuff.
always, though.
Here, look, there are brats who are subs.
What does
You know
that
what I
mean,
mean?
brats?
They're in a way, they have masochistic tendencies. They're the make me's, reverse psychology, because they're dominating from the bottom. Those are the make me's, the ones that use tears as guilt to try to manipulate you, the ones that are begging for attention constantly. Those are the brats, the spoiled brats. You know what I mean? They're a type of sub too.
The ones that say, "What are you gonna do? Hit me?" Because they want you to. Interesting. Okay.
I have the way you conduct yourself, like on social media.
Yes. I just got that part too.
Yeah.
So like twerking on, or like half naked pictures, stuff like that.
Yeah, and these women can have a whole husband at home. You know what I mean?
What about those new just me pages or whatever?
Fan only?
Fan only, just me pages. I'm so not in with the times. Yeah.
Is your man in those fan only? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to people out there. Like
that's crazy. That's crazy. Like you have to pay to be in there. What are they doing? Like what are they watching in there? I'm not paying anybody to go and watch whatever it is that they're doing in there. But
well, the thing is, I'm the type of person, right? I'm the type of man where I'm not gonna tell you my way or the highway. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you explanation. I'm gonna let you make a choice. I always give everybody a choice, because if you give people a choice, at the end of the day, it's on them. It's on them.
Smart.
The outcome is on them. So you always give everybody a choice. So it's always good to explain things. So
Yeah.
I'm not the type that's gonna say, don't post this on social media and don't twerk on social media. I'll say it, yeah, but I'm not just gonna say that's it. Because I said so. I'm the type to tell you not to do it and explain why. For example, the type of energy you're about to gravitate towards you is not going to be good energy.
If you do that.
It's not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You also display to people, you're portraying something that you may not be. You know, those people like, oh, don't judge me by my page. My page is not me. Everybody's going to judge you by your page. Your page is you.
Just like the don't judge a book by its cover because of the tattoos and the muscles there.
Your page is you. Because the reality is, it's not really your page. Whatever network you on, they're the landlords. You just paying rent. You don't really own your page. They have certain guidelines you gotta go through, but at the end of the day, like, that is the type of energy that you bring when you do that. I mean, you're a representation of him to his face and behind his back. So how is it that you got a man that is allowing you to do that? Those are those beta males. Oh man, let her do what she wants, as long as she's happy.
Well, maybe not that far, but what about the ones that say, I'm confident in my relationship, I'm confident in myself.
He's beta.
Like she could dress how she wants to. I know she's coming home to me.
He's beta still.
You don't know any alpha males that would do that.
No alpha male is gonna like that. Let me tell you something about alphas. It may attract his attention, but it's not gonna inspire his respect.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. After a while, that kind of wears down, no? Having to argue about the same thing all the time, regardless if it's her twerking, how she dresses, or anything.
Listen, alpha males, right? Dominant men, they come in all shapes and sizes. But they have most of them have the same mentality. I mean, they have leadership skills, dominant personality. They're assertive, they're direct, they're straightforward. You know what I mean? They could be possessive, they could be territorial. And if they're like that, how is it conducive, right, to the relationship that you're building if every man in the world could see what you look like? You know what I mean? Half naked. Like, they know that tattoo, they know that little scar. Like, you know what I mean? That's something that's personal. That's something that's sacred. You know what I mean?
That's true. No, that's true. That's also like I take selfies all the time, on Snapchat and whatnot. I love those photos. They make me look a lot better. But I don't
You women and the filters, y'all kill me.
They make your eyes look light. I like that. But I don't like, seeing like when they're twerking and then you have, their kids right there. Like I don't like. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but
no, you're not being judgmental. I agree with your statement. I don't like that either, because what the kid's seeing isn't being.
You're already shown, right?
In his conscious.
They're already being taught that it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
I knew this couple. Their baby was 2 years old. 2-year-old little boy. They pierced his ears. Why? Why would you pierce your 2-year-old little boy's ears? Wait until he's old enough to say, "Can I get earrings?" Or then you cross that.
I don't have to tell somebody how to,
but
I'll give suggestions.
You don't have to have kids to ask, why would you pierce your 2-year-old son's ears? Did he ask for that? I'm sure he doesn't, know what that's about. That's a look. That's not religious. That's for a look. Mm-hmm. So you're going to already dress your son in a specific way because you like that look. Wait until he's bigger for something like that. That's what I feel like.
I mean, that goes back to when you were saying to me, if I had a son that was,
How
you
would you want?
know,
Yeah.
kind of timid and maybe showing more feminine energy than masculine. Like in the last segment, part one, I mentioned women and men are born with both.
Yes.
Um, I would push really, really hard to try to get them out of that. You know what I mean? Because if when they're young like that, they don't understand.
Right.
They don't understand. They could be
But what
6 years old.
what you're explaining to do is different than already putting that way of seeing things. You know what I
Here's the
mean?
thing: it's not about forcing a life on somebody. It's about giving them the blueprint, right? Showing them the outcome, right? Giving every type of explanation along the way, and then allowing them to make the decision for themselves.
Yes, that's how it should be. I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I believe. So you could force anybody to do anything. At the end of the day, they're an individual. They're gonna make their own choices. Your kid's not gonna be with you forever. Eventually,
That's true.
they're gonna say, "Yo, once I get out of here, you know, I'm gonna do this." You know what I
Right,
mean?
but that's what I'm saying. At that point is when they should be able to make that decision of, you know what, when I get out of here, I'm gonna pierce my ears. Not at 2 years old. That's what I'm saying. Pictures, dressed like a lady, with class in public,
The challenges,
with the light switch.
yeah.
I don't know what that's about. Or what are they doing? Just switching outfits? That's
I
dumb.
don't, I don't care what it's for. I don't care what it's for. I don't care if it's like, oh, babe, let's do this. This is gonna be fun. No,
So if your girlfriend came and said, "Can we just try it out?" Negative.
no, I'm not even letting the chick. I'm not even letting my sub or my queen, you know, say, oh, there's this cool little prank, like put your hands in this box. I don't like surprises.
Not even good surprises.
No, not even good surprises. This
Nothing.
goes back to me, exercising control in every aspect of my life. Some people would say I have a
Oh, that makes
problem, but it keeps me balanced being this way. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't like surprises. So I'm not I'm not even engaging in that. So for me to be engaging in a challenge like, oh, when my outfit, like, no, women wear women clothing, men wear men clothing. Dress like a man. You're a man. I even see it in Hollywood. Like when these guys make it, black men especially, when they make it in Hollywood, they try to get you to wear a dress, a female wig, and all that stuff at least once.
Yeah,
They're
I
trying to
agree with that.
emasculate you.
Yeah, well,
You know?
that's Hollywood. Hopefully, that's changing though with everything that's going on with the whole who, Weinstein, and who's that? It wasn't Epstein, right? Wasn't he the one that they said killed himself? But we
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
that's not
he killed
true.
himself.
Yeah, it just so happens.
Um,
That has to be
um,
another topic, by the way. Those types of like.
conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people are ready for that.
No, but it would be interesting
Mm,
for us.
Men want simple things.
Venting to you.
Men
Yeah,
want
go ahead.
simple things, man. Women are complicated. Women are indecisive. They're complicated. They don't really know what they want. Men want simple things. And one thing I have to say, you disagree. You gave me a look.
I'm gonna let you finish.
And if a man is venting to you, right,
Mm-hmm.
and unless alpha male is venting to you, you should be appreciative of that,
Because they don't
especially
really
if he
do that.
doesn't do it often. We're right
Mm.
here, yo. You and I are right here with the wave,
I
the
know.
mental. Yes. Um, because we pride ourselves in being very, very strong. So, like, I'm in tune with my feelings, you know. something. I'm, you upset me. I don't like you did that. You mean, let's try to change that up. Like, let's try to fix the problem. Like, it's not like she's my opponent. Like, the problem is the opponent. So we're gonna work to fix this problem.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But to me, it's like I'm not like a lot of men who are alpha take pride in being strong. So we're not going to get in tune with our feelings if shit going on, whether it's work, stress, whatever it is. If he's venting to you, you know what I mean? That's a big deal.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He may not desire a response. He may not desire a solution.
He's just getting it off his
He's
chest.
just getting it off his chest. He's not trying to do it on social media. He's coming to you. Privacy. Like, I'm confiding in you because I'm telling you this in a way that this ain't gonna go out. This ain't gonna get out. I could be doing this on social media. I could be venting on social media, but I'm venting to you. Some women don't appreciate that. Other women do because they're intelligent. You know, smart women know how to love, but intelligent women know how to love and who to love.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So, like, this goes back to the part one where
that takes time, though. What you just said, intelligent women know who to, when to love and or how to love and who to love.
Let's be frank. Most women
they have to learn.
Most women make terrible decisions when it comes to men.
Terrible,
and
especially early on.
And now you might be divorced, left. You might have custody of the children. They make terrible decisions when it comes to men, and love is blind sometimes. You know what I mean? Also, when you're pounding that pussy on too, like,
oh Lord,
like that makes you
people crazy.
Not think that you deserve better, or
what, having good sex?
Yes. Because
but I don't want to talk about this right now. Because I was thinking about. I swear we're really on the same wavelength. Earlier today, exercise and food.
Yes, that's the next one.
Because I was thinking about just that. Stop right there. Stop. We finish with part 2. That's it.
You have any final thoughts? You have any
my
final thoughts?
Yes. I think that women, even if you're a strong woman and you're, a very proactive woman, I wouldn't say feminist, you can still be submissive. And that doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're...
I don't think there's real feminists out there, but...
That's a different topic. Stop that. Final thoughts. That's what I think. I think even the most, pro woman out there can be more submissive to her mate, her man, her spouse, whatever you want to say. And it shouldn't be seen as, in such a negative way. It's in you. It's in you. Because when you want to make somebody a sandwich, that's, being submissive. So don't fight it. Just go with the flow. Especially if you think he earns it.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. My final thoughts is don't nag, just gag. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna make you both feel good. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, never neglect the balls.
All right.
Never neglect it.
That's words of wisdom right there.
And last but not least, a period should be irrelevant when it comes to your relationship. A period is just a thing after a sentence. And those are my final thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you for those thoughts. You do know that when a woman has her period, we have like cramps, very, very bad cramps. The worst thing ever.
All of you?
For the most part.
Well, chocolate could help.
That's true.
Maybe we'll talk
Chocolate can.
about that in episode 2.
Okay.
Food and sex. Can you mix the two?
Yes, and you should. And you should.
Interesting. Maybe you'll teach me something next episode.
I mean, I said you should. I never said that I've actually had. I just think it would be interesting. It would be fun. But we could get into that with the next episode, definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing our second part. We needed to get it out there.